everyone, how are you all doing? Today I'm going to review the third and the latest book in the Ram Chandra series by Amish, that is Raavan, Enemy of Aryavartha. Now, before we go into the book, a little recap of the first two books in the series. I have also reviewed these two books. So, the first book that we had was Ram, Scion of Ishwaku, which talks about the story of the first main character, Ram, and it concentrates on the masculine and feminine way of ruling, that is, a masculine and feminine way of administration. The second book, that is Sita, Warrior of Mithila, is the story of the second main characteristic in the Ram Chandra series, that is Sita, and it concentrates on the caste system in India. Now, the third book, that is Raavan, Enemy of Aryavartha, is the story of the third main character of the series, that is Raavan, and it talks about, or it concentrates on dharma and adharma. Now, like the first two books, this particular book also starts with the abduction of Sita as to what happened on the day of the abduction in Raavan's camp, that is from Raavan's point of view. Then from the second chapter, it goes into a flashback. We see Raavan as a 4-year-old child, and he is the son of Rishi Vishrava and Kaikasi. Now, Rishi Vishrava hates his son. The reason for hatred is that Raavan is born a Naga, a person with deformity. Now, this hatred also gives rise to hatred in the mind of Raavan, and this is the reason of cruelty in his characteristic. Now, as we read through this book, we see a range of or shades of characteristics in Raavan, not only cruelty, but also the love that he has for his younger brother Kumbhakarn, the love that he has, the love and respect that he has for the love of his life. Yes, there is a romance involved here. So, love of his life, that is the Kanyakumari, and his shrewdness as a businessman, his tactics as a political influencer, and his ability as a king and administrator. Now, when I read this particular book, it actually reminded me of the Bollywood movies of the 80s, 70s, 80s era, where the eldest son runs away with his mother and his siblings because of certain circumstances, and he enters the world of criminals, and he becomes an underworld don and the wealthiest man there, and he also becomes a political influencer in that case. So, in this particular story also, Raavan runs away with his mother and his younger brother in order to save the life of his younger brother and from his own father, because he is also born as a Naga. And then he goes on to become a smuggler, and with his shrewdness, with his cruelty, he becomes a very famous smuggler, or you can say he becomes one of the most wealthiest smuggler, and he becomes also a very, because of his wealth, he becomes a political influencer, and he actually overturns the the throne of Lanka to become a king of Lanka himself. Uh, in between all this, you will also find a love story between Raavan and the love of his life, the Kanyakumari. Then he's for this love of his life, he's ready to give up the unscrupulous activity and the world of crime. But then she gets murdered, and the vengeance takes over, the cruelty takes over again in Raavan. And then what happens is how the story goes ahead. So it's a nice book, but I found it a bit of a drag, and as I told you, it reminded me of some old Bollywood movie as well. But in case if you want to read, in case you want to read the entire Ramachandra series, and there is a fourth book on the offering, so you would have to read all the three books in order to connect with the fourth book, because as per Amish, all the three books, they will amalgamate into a fourth book, which is in line in future. So nice book, of course with a bit drag, but it's a nice read all in all. The rating that I give to this book is 3 out of 5. So if you like this book review, please do subscribe to my channel, and till next time, bye bye.